Welcome to Change Bites with Rafa'a Mustafa, where change management insights are shared in small, practical bites. Tune in for actionable tips and real-world strategies, with an infographic summary available on the Agile-Brainz LinkedIn page and website. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to Change Bites, where big ideas in change management turn into practical, people-focused steps you can put into action straight away. Today, the focus is on personas, one of the most human-centered tools you will ever use in change. By the end of this episode, you will know what a persona is and why it can transform your change approach. The key details to include so your personas are practical, not fluffy. How to create them step by step and test they reflect real people. How many personas are enough without complicating things. And how to use them in your strategy so they guide decisions, not just sit in a folder. Think of this episode as your persona roadmap, from first sketch to seeing them in action. Picture this. You're rolling out digital timesheets. The plan is solid. Milestones set, comms sent. But the response is mixed. Some excited, some confused, others worried. That's where personas make the difference. A persona is a fictional but evidence-based profile of a group impacted by change. It combines facts like role and work patterns with the human side, motivations, frustrations, and attitudes. Used well, personas ground your design in real needs, build empathy, spark better conversations, and reveal pain points early so people feel part of the journey. For example, Sam, the field technician, his challenge isn't mindset, it's access. He works in patchy internet zones using a shared tablet or his phone between jobs. That insight tells you training and comms must be mobile-friendly, quick, and offline-ready. Something a generic plan would have missed. So, what makes a strong persona? Think of it as two sides of a coin, the snapshot and the human story. On the snapshot side, capture demographics, job title, work environment, shifts or remote work, experience, and the tools they use daily. On the human side, capture psychographics, motivations, worries, how they usually respond to change, how they prefer information, and what frustrates them. This is often where you find the gold, the clues to resistance and engagement. Here is a quick tip. Go beyond the basics and add change-specific details. Capture the level of impact, low, medium, or high, to guide the right support. And also capture their position on change, whether they are resisting, neutral, open, or leading. Those leading the way can become your strongest advocates. So, how many personas do you actually need? It depends on the scope of your change. One won't give you enough coverage, but 10 or more quickly becomes unmanageable. The sweet spot is usually 3 to 6 personas, enough to capture key stakeholders groups without overwhelming your plans. For example, in the timesheet rollout project we talked about earlier, we might create 4 personas. Sam, the field technician, Samira, the HR manager, Ravi, the site supervisor, and Chen, the finance analyst. Each of them has different needs and very different ways of working. Now to the real work, building personas step by step. Step 1, identify who you are designing for. Name the key stakeholder groups. Step 2, collect insights. Interviews, focus groups, surveys, observation, even a 30-minute shadow can reveal more than 10 survey questions. Step 3, spot patterns. Cluster by behaviors and needs, not job titles. Step 4, build the profile. Include name, photo, background, motivations, change readiness, needs, a short day in the life, and a defining quote. Step 5, test and refine. Ask yourself, are they real, specific, useful, clear, and recognizable? And you can do that by sharing a draft, for example, some field technician persona with 3 field staff and ask, does this sound like you? If not, iterate. So you've tested and refined your personas. The next question is, how do you actually use them? This is where many teams stop. But the real value is in bringing them into everyday practice. Think about how personas can shape what you do. In communications, check if the message really speaks to each persona. In training, adjust the format, the pace, even the examples to match different groups. For resistance planning, use what you know about their attitudes to guide your approach. With leaders, share personas in briefings so impacts feel real and relatable. In change impact assessments, view the change through the lens of each persona. And in user testing, choose participants that reflect your personas. And one last tip, don't treat personas as static documents. Keep them alive by updating as readiness, concerns, and resistance shift. And that brings us to the end of this episode. You have now got a clear roadmap for personas, what they are, how to build and test them, and most importantly, how to use them so they drive real decisions. Keep them simple, keep them alive, and put them into action. Thanks for listening to Change Bites. Until next time, keep shaping change with people at the center, one bite at a time.
Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites. We hope these insights inspire meaningful change. For more resources, follow Agile-Brainz on LinkedIn and check the podcast notes for all shared links. Be sure to follow the podcast for more tips.